Namie, just an ordinary 24-year-old girl trying to make it through the day. She's got a job at a little coffee shop downtown, barely pays the rent, but she's got this smile that lights up even the gloomiest mornings. Today, though, today's not her day. Namie's running late, like really late. Her alarm didn't go off, her toast burned, and now she's sprinting down the cracked sidewalk in her beat-up sneakers, clutching her handbag and a stack of files her boss asked her to bring. The clock's ticking, she's got 10 minutes to make it, or she's toast at work. Her dark hair's flying everywhere, and she's muttering to herself, "Come on, Namie, don't mess this up again." Then it happens. Her foot catches on a busted piece of pavement, and down she goes, bam! Her handbag skids across the ground, spilling lipstick and coins everywhere, and her files scatter like leaves in the wind. She groans, sitting there on her knees, hands scraped and stinging. "Great," she mumbles. "Just great." That's when she hears a voice, quiet and rough, like it hasn't been used in a while. "You okay, miss?" She looks up, and there he is. A beggar, crouched a few feet away near a rusty bench. He's wrapped in a ratty old coat, hood pulled low over his face, and his hands are stuffed in torn gloves. A beat-up cardboard sign sits next to him. Anything's "God bless." Namie blinks, brushing dirt off her jeans. Yeah, I'm fine, thanks." She starts grabbing her stuff, but something makes her pause. His voice, it's soft, almost too kind for someone who's been out here who knows how long. And then he shifts, and she catches a glimpse of his eyes under that hood. Bright green, clear as glass, shining like they don't belong in that grimy face. She freezes for a second, thinking, those aren't beggar eyes. Those are something else. "You sure you're okay?" he asks again, scooting closer. His hands hover like he wants to help, but isn't sure if he should. Namie nods, forcing a smile. "Yeah, just clumsy. Late for work, you know how it is." She scoops up her files, but one's missing a big report her boss needs today. She panics, scanning the ground, and that's when the beggar points. "Over there, by the curb." She darts over, grabs it, and turns back. He's watching her, those green eyes locked on her like he's trying to figure her out. "Thanks," she says, a little breathless. "You didn't have to do that." He shrugs, pulling his hood lower. "Not much else to do out here." His voice cracks a little, and Namie feels a tug in her chest. Pity, maybe, or something deeper. She digs in her bag, finds a crumpled $5 bill, and holds it out. "Here. It's not much, but, you know." He stares at the money, then at her, and for a second she thinks he won't take it. But he does, fingers brushing hers just a second. But it's enough to make her notice how warm they are, even through the gloves. "Thanks, miss. You're kind." She laughs. Awkward. "Not really. Just late." She glances at her phone, 5 minutes left. She's got to run, but as she turns to go, he calls after her. "Hey, what's your name?" "Namie," she says over her shoulder, already jogging. "You?" "Call me Jay," he replies, and she barely hears it over the sound of her sneakers slapping the pavement. She makes it to the coffee shop just in time, panting and flustered, and dives into her shift. But all day, those green eyes stick with her. Who was that guy? The beggar, right? Nothing special. It's Friday, and Namie's stuck on the late shift at the coffee shop. The clock's creeping past 9 p.m., and she's wiping down counters, her feet aching in those worn-out sneakers. Outside, the sky's turned mean dark clouds rolling in, thunder rumbling like it's got something to say. She glances out the window as rain starts pelting the glass, hard and fast. "Great," she mutters, tugging her hoodie tighter. "No umbrella. Perfect." Her boss, a grumpy guy named Mike, tosses her a rag. "Lock up when you're done, Namie. I'm out." He's gone before she can even nod, leaving her alone with the hum of the espresso machine and the storm howling outside. She finishes up, flips the sign to closed, and steps out into the downpour. The rain hits her like a slap, soaking her hoodie in seconds. She pulls the hood up, hunching her shoulders, and starts the long walk home to her tiny apartment 6 blocks away. The streets are empty, streetlights flickering in the wet haze. Namie's shivering, her breath puffing out in little clouds, when she spots something or someone under a sagging awning across the street. It's him. Jay. The beggar from last week. He's crouched there, his tattered coat pulled tight around him, that cardboard sign of his now a soggy mess at his feet. The rain's dripping off the awning, splashing his boots, and he looks like a drowned cat, miserable and small. Namie slows down, water dripping off her nose. She should keep going. It's cold. She's tired, and her bed's calling her name. But those green eyes flash in her memory, and her feet stop moving. She squints through the rain. He's shivering bad. No hood up, just his head ducked low, like he's given up fighting the storm. Something twists in her chest. Pity? Guilt? She's not sure, but before she knows it, she's crossing the street. Hey, she calls, her voice barely cutting through the rain. He looks up, slow, like he's surprised anyone's talking to him. Those eyes catch the street light, bright and sharp, and Namie's breath hitches. Yep, still too pretty for a beggar. You okay? She asks, stepping under the awning with him. Jay blinks, wiping rain off his face with a gloved hand. Been better, he says, his voice rough but warm, like a fire crackling under all that grit. He tries a smile, but it's weak, and his teeth chatter. Up close, she sees how thin he looks. Cheeks hollow, coat hanging loose. How long's he been out here? You can't stay like this, Namie says, frowning. You'll freeze or get sick or something. She's not even sure why she cares. She doesn't know this guy. But he helped her last week, didn't he? Pointed out that file when she was scrambling. Maybe it's payback. Maybe it's just her being dumb. Either way, she's not leaving him here. He shrugs, looking away. I've made it this far. Don't worry about me, miss. Namie, she corrects, hands on her hips. And I'm not asking. Come on, my place isn't far. You can dry off at least. His head snaps up, eyes wide, like she just offered him $1 million instead of a towel. He opens his mouth probably to argue, but she cuts him off. Don't fight me on this. I'm wet, I'm cold, and I'm not standing here arguing. Let's go. For a second, he just stares, like he's trying to figure out if she's for real. Then he nods, slow, and grabs his soggy sign. Okay, Namie, lead the way. The walk's quiet, just the rain drumming on the pavement and their shoes splashing through puddles. Namie sneaks glances at him. He's tall, taller than she thought, but he hunches like he's trying to disappear. His coat's a mess holes in the elbows, mud streaked across it, but he keeps pace with her, hands stuffed in his pockets. She wonders what his deal is. Why's he out here? Where's his family? She almost asks, but the words stick in her throat. Not her business, right? Her apartment's a cramped one-bedroom on the 3rd floor of a rundown building, no elevator, just creaky stairs. She unlocks the door, flicking on the light. It's not much, she says, kicking off her soggy shoes. But it's dry. The place is small peeling paint, a lumpy couch, a kitchen counter barely big enough for a microwave. A few old family photos hang crooked on the wall, her mom and little brother smiling back at her. Jay steps in, hesitant, like he's scared to drip on her floor. It's nice, he says, and she snorts. Yeah, right. She grabs a towel from the bathroom and tosses it to him. Here, dry off before you catch pneumonia or whatever. He catches it, nodding thanks, and starts rubbing his hair. The hood's down now, and she gets a better look at him. Dark hair, messy and wet, falls over his forehead. His face is sharp, high cheekbones, a jaw that's strong even under a scruffy beard. He's not old, maybe late 20s, like her. How'd he end up on the street? You hungry? She asks, digging in her fridge. There's half a pot of chicken soup from yesterday, nothing fancy, but it's warm. He pauses, towel around his neck, and nods. If it's not trouble. It's not. She heats it up, the microwave humming as she watches him from the corner of her eye. He's looking around now, taking in her place. His gaze lands on those photos, her mom laughing, her brother sticking out his tongue. Your family? He asks, quiet. Yeah, she says, stirring the soup. Mom's back in Ohio. Brother's in college now. You got family around here? He stiffens, just for a second, then shrugs. Not really. Been on my own a while. His voice goes flat, like a door slamming shut. She wants to push, "Where'd you come from? What happened?" But the microwave beeps, and she lets it go. She hands him a bowl and a spoon, and they sit at her tiny table, the rain tapping the window like it's trying to get in. He eats slow, like he's savoring it, and Naomi picks at her own bowl. The silence isn't awkward, exactly, but it's heavy. She catches him, glancing at her quick looks like he's afraid she'll notice. And she does. Her cheeks get warm, and she blames the soup. "So," she says, breaking the quiet, "how long you been, out there?" Jay sets his spoon down, leaning back. "A while. Lost track, honestly." He's dodging again, and it's starting to bug her. But then he adds, softer, "It's not so bad. You get used to it. People like you make it easier, though." Her heart does a little flip. "People like me?" "Kind ones," he says, and those green eyes lock on hers. No smile, just a look that's too intense, too real. She swallows, suddenly aware of how close they're sitting, how the rains made the air feel thick and warm. She's not sure what to say, so she just nods, looking down at her soup. "Crash here tonight," she blurts before she can overthink it. "Couch is yours. It's too nasty out there." He blinks, surprised again, and she rushes on. "Just tonight, okay? Don't make it weird." He laughs a low, rough sound that makes her stomach flutter. "Okay, Naomi. Just tonight. Thanks." She grabs him a blanket and a pillow, pointing him to the couch. He settles in, still watching her as she heads to her room. "Good night," he calls, and she mumbles it back, shutting her door. But she doesn't sleep easy. She lies there, listening to the rain, thinking about Jay out there on her couch. Those eyes, that laugh, the way he said her name. Who is he, really? She's got no clue what she started, friends. Bringing him here was a snap decision. A little spark of kindness, but it's about to light a fire she can't put out. Morning comes fast. Naomi wakes up to sunlight sneaking through her cracked blinds, the rain finally gone. She rubs her eyes, remembering Jay's out there on her couch. She tiptoes to her door, peeking out, and he's not there. The blanket's folded neat, the pillow stacked on top, but no Jay. Her stomach drops. Did he ditch her? Then she spots it. A scrap of paper on the table. Scribbled in messy handwriting, it says, "Thanks, Naomi. I owe you, Jay." She stares at it, a little smile tugging at her lips. Weird guy. She's got the day off, so she shrugs it off and heads to work her next shift tomorrow. The coffee shop's buzzing when she gets there. Saturday mornings are chaos. She's steaming milk and dodging Mike's grumbles when two regulars, a couple of chatty old guys, start yapping at the counter. "You hear about that millionaire?" one says, sipping his black coffee. "James Carver. Guy vanished, 5 years back?" The other guy chuckles, wiping crumbs off his beard. "Yeah, tech whiz. Made billions, then poof gone. Bet he's a bum now, begging somewhere. Rich folks are nuts." They laugh, and Naomi's hands freeze on the espresso machine. "James, Jay. Her heart does a funny little thump. No way. It's a coincidence, right? But those eyes, those green eyes flash in her head, and she can't let it go. She finishes her shift, jittery, and bolts home. Her laptop's ancient, takes forever to boot up, but she's on a mission. She Googles, "James Carver missing millionaire," and bam, articles pop up. Tech genius, built some app that took off, then disappeared after a big deal went sour. There's a photo, blurry and old, from some fancy event. Dark hair, sharp jaw, and oh, man, those eyes. Green as emeralds, staring right through the screen. Her breath catches. It's him. It's gotta be him. She sits back, head spinning. Jay's no beggar, he's a millionaire? Hiding out? Why? Her mind races back to last night, how he dodged her questions, how he looked at her photos like he was memorizing them. And that note, "I owe you." What's that mean? She's half freaked out, half something else. Excited? Curious? She remembers his laugh, low and warm, and her cheeks heat up. Okay, maybe she's crushing a little. But if he's James Carver, what's he doing in her life? She doesn't see him for days. The street corner's empty, no sign of his soggy cardboard. She's starting to think she dreamed it until Wednesday. She's wiping tables after the lunch rush when the bell jingles, and there he is, Jay. Cleaner now, hair combed, coat less grimy, but still rough around the edges. He slides into a booth, catching her eye with a small grin. Her heart flips. He's back. She walks over, tray under her arm. Hey, stranger, where'd you disappear to? He shrugs, that grin widening. Around. Missed your soup, though. She laughs, and it's easy, too easy. She's got a million questions, but they stick in her throat. Instead, she says, Coffee? He nods, and she pours it, watching him. He's real. He's here. And maybe, just maybe, he's more than he's letting on. It's been a slow week since Namie spotted Jay in the coffee shop. He's popped in twice same booth, same coffee order, same little grin that makes her stomach flip. Today's Friday, and she's behind the counter. Sneaking looks at him while he sips his drink. He's still in that beat-up coat, but his hands are steady, and he's watching her right back. Customers chatter, but it's like they're in their own bubble. She's wiping the counter third time, just to look busy when he waves her over. Got a sec? He asks, voice low. She nods, sliding into the booth across from him. What's up? She says, trying to sound casual. He leans forward, elbows on the table, and pulls out a crisp $100 bill. Her eyes bug out. For the coffee, he says, winking. Keep the change. She gapes. Jay, that's nuts. It's $3. He laughs, pushing it toward her. Take it. You've been good to me. Her fingers brush his as she grabs it, and there's that warmth again like last week when she gave him the $5. She stuffs it in her apron, flustered. You're weird, she mutters, and he just grins wider. The shop's emptying out, and her shift's almost done. She clocks out, and he's still there, waiting by the door. Walk you home? He asks. Casual, but his eyes say more. She hesitates. Millionaire beggar? What's his deal? But nods. They step outside, the air cool and crisp, and he falls in step beside her. He's closer than he needs to be, and she feels it, that pull. So, she starts, hands in her pockets. Where'd you get $100? Rob a bank? He chuckles, looking down at her. Nah, just had it lying around. She squints at him. Lying around? On the street? He shrugs, dodging again, and it's driving her nuts. She stops walking, turning to face him. Okay, Jay, level with me. Who are you, really? His grin fades, and for a second, he looks scared. But then he steps closer, too close, and her breath catches. I'm just Jay, he says, voice soft. Guy you helped out. That's all you need to know for now. His hand brushes her arm, light as a feather, and her heart's pounding. She should push, demand answers, but she doesn't. She just nods, and they keep walking. It's Thursday, and Namie's pulling a double shift at the coffee shop. The clock's ticking past midnight, and she's dead on her feet, eyelids heavy, sneakers sticking to the floor from spilled syrup. Mike's already gone, leaving her to lock up again. The streets outside are quiet, just the hum of a distant car and the flicker of a busted streetlight. She yawns, grabbing her bag, and steps into the cool night air, locking the door behind her. Her apartment's 6 blocks away, and she's trudging along, head down, when she notices something off. The street's too quiet, no dogs barking, no late-night chatter. A shiver runs up her spine, but she shakes it off. Get a grip, Namie, she mutters, fishing for her keys as she climbs the creaky stairs to her third-floor place. She jams the key in the lock, turns it, and pushes the door open and freezes. Her apartment's a wreck. The couch is flipped over, cushions slashed. Drawers hang open, clothes and papers spilling out like guts. Her little TV's tipped on its side, screen cracked. Her heart slams against her ribs. She can hear it thumping in her ears. What the? She steps inside, shaky, and grabs her phone from her bag, fingers fumbling to dial 911. That's when she sees it a shadow, moving in the corner by her bedroom door. She gasps, phone slipping, but a voice cuts through the dark. "Relax, Namie, it's me." Jay steps into the dim light from the window, hands up like he's calming a spooked cat. He's tense, eyes darting to the door, then back to her. "Don't call anyone. Not yet." "Jay?" Her voice cracks, a mix of relief and panic. "What's going on? Did you do this?" She gestures at the mess, her hands shaking. He shakes his head fast, crossing the room in 3 steps. No, I didn't. Listen, you're in danger. Because of me." Her stomach drops. "Danger? What are you talking about?" He grabs her shoulders, gentle but firm, and she feels the heat of his hands through her hoodie. "I'll explain everything, I swear. But we gotta move. They're coming back." His voice is low, urgent, and those green eyes are wide with something she's never seen in him before. Fear. "Who's they?" She snaps, pulling away. Her head spinning, trashed apartment. Jay acting like a spy, her whole night flipped upside down. "You break into my place and tell me I'm in danger? Give me something, Jay." He hesitates, jaw tight, then sighs. "People I pissed off. Bad people, guys who don't mess around. They found me, and now they're looking here." "I didn't mean to drag you into this, Namie, I swear I didn't." His hands drop, and he looks at her like she's the only thing keeping him steady. "Please, trust me just for tonight. We need to go." She stares at him, heart racing. She should scream, run, call the cops something smart. But those eyes, that voice, they pull her in, and she's mad, scared, and still hooked on him. "Fine," she says, voice shaky. "But you owe me answers." "Ones." He nods, grabbing her hand, and it's electric, his grip strong, warm, grounding her in the chaos. "Back door," he says, pulling her toward the kitchen. They slip out into the alley, the night air biting her skin. Headlights flash at the end of the street, a black car, slow and creeping. Jay yanks her behind a dumpster, his arm around her waist, holding her close. "Stay down," he whispers, breath hot against her ear. Her pulse is pounding, and not just from fear his body pressed against hers is doing things to her she doesn't have time to unpack. The car rolls by, tires crunching gravel, and Jay's grip tightens. "They're gone for now," he mutters, letting her go. She's breathless, staring at him in the dark. "I'll fix this," he says, voice rough. "I promise, Namie." She nods, too rattled to argue, and follows him into the shadows. They duck into a 24-hour diner, 2 blocks from her place, the kind with sticky tables and flickering neon signs. It's nearly empty, just a trucker in the corner and a bored waitress wiping the counter. Rain started up again, streaking the windows, and Namie's soaked, her hoodie clinging to her as she slides into a booth. Jay's across from her, hood pulled low, eyes scanning the door like a hawk. She slams her coffee mug down, glaring at him. "Talk," she says, voice sharp enough to cut glass. "Right now, Jay, no more dodging." He flinches, running a hand through his wet hair, and for a second he looks lost, like a kid caught sneaking cookies. Then he sighs, long and heavy, and leans forward. "Okay," he says, voice low. "I'm James Carver, tech guy. Built an app, made a fortune, billions, Namie. Then it went bad. My partner, ex-partner, tried to kill me over a deal. I faked disappearing, been hiding as a beggar ever since." He pauses, watching her, like he's waiting for her to bolt. Her jaw drops, coffee forgotten. "You're James Carver? The missing millionaire?" She blinks, scrambling to catch up. That blurry photo she found online. Dark hair, green eyes. It's him. "Holy crap, it's him! So all this time, you've been, pretending? And my place got trashed because of you?" He nods, grim. "Yeah, they've been hunting me. Found out I was around here. Must have tracked me to you. I'm so sorry, Namie." His voice cracks, and he looks down, hands clenched on the table. "I should have stayed away, but I couldn't." She's furious, lied to, dragged into this mess, but then he keeps going, softer now. "Meeting you, it changed things. You're kind, real. Made me want to stop running. I didn't plan this, I didn't plan you. His eyes lift, locking on hers, and they're raw, pleading, pulling her in like a tide. Her anger wobbles. She wants to yell, storm out, but her hand moves instead, reaching across the table. He grabs it, fingers lacing with hers, and it's like a jolt, warm, steady, right. "You're an idiot," she mutters, but there's no heat in it. He laughs, weak, and squeezes her hand. "I know," he says, "but I'm your idiot now, if you'll have me." He leans closer, and she's done fighting it. She meets him halfway, and they kiss hot, messy, desperate, like the world's falling apart, and this is all that's left. Her heart's pounding, his hands cupping her face, and it's fireworks in that dingy diner. Then headlights flash outside, slow, deliberate. Jay pulls back, cursing under his breath. "That's them," he says, voice tight. "We gotta go." She nods, still dizzy from the kiss, and they slip out the back, the black car lurking like a shadow. The diner's back door bangs shut behind them, rain slapping their faces as they sprint into the night. Jay's got Naomi's hand, pulling her through a maze of alleys, trash cans clattering, puddles splashing under their feet. Tires squeal somewhere close, too close, and Naomi's lungs burn, her sneakers slipping on wet pavement. "Keep moving!" Jay yells, voice cutting through the storm. They duck behind a brick wall, panting as headlights sweep past. "Goons," Jay whispers, peeking out. "My ex-partner's guys. They won't stop." His arms around her, holding her tight, and she feels his heartbeat fast, scared, alive. "We need a spot to hide," he says, scanning the dark. "I've got cash stashed, old habit. Enough for a motel." She nods, breathless. "Lead the way." They bolt again, weaving through back streets until they hit a rundown motel neon sign buzzing, paint peeling off the two vis. Jay slams cash on the counter, gets a key, and they stumble into room 12, musty, dim, but safe. The door locks, and they collapse on the sagging bed, soaked and shaking. He pulls her close, arms wrapping around her. "You okay?" he asks, voice rough. She nods against his chest, feeling his warmth through his wet coat. "Yeah. You?" He laughs, shaky. "Been better. But you're my reason to fight this, Naomi." Her heart flips, and she looks up those green eyes, soft, fierce, hers. She kisses him, slow this time, and it's like a promise, warm, deep, anchoring them. They pull back, foreheads touching, and start planning. "We expose him," Jay says. "Proof's on a drive I hid. We get it. Leak it. End this. She's all in. Danger be damned." Morning creeps in, gray light filtering through the motel's torn curtains. Naomi's pacing, phone in hand, while Jay's sprawled on the bed, mapping their next move. "We need help," she says, chewing her lip. "Lila, my best friend, she'll know what to do." Jay frowns, uneasy. "You sure?" She nods. "She's solid. I trust her." Big mistake. She calls Lila, spills everything, Jay, the goons, the plan. Lila's voice is too calm, promising to meet them with a car. An hour later, tires crunch outside. Naomi peeks out, expecting Lila, but it's them. Goons. 3 guys, guns glinting, storming the room. "Lila sold us out!" Jay shouts, shoving Naomi behind him as the door splinters. A shot grazes his arm. Blood blooms, and he grunts, tackling her to the floor. Chaos, glass shatters. Bullets fly, and Naomi drags him out the bathroom window, heart in her throat. They stumble into the woods behind the motel, her sobbing as she rips her sleeve to wrap his arm. "Stay with me," she begs, hands shaking. He grabs her face, blood-streaked but alive. "I love you," he rasps, eyes fierce. "I love you too," she chokes out, kissing him hard. The woods behind the motel are dark and damp, the air thick with the smell of wet leaves and mud. Naomi's crouched next to Jay, her hands shaking as she tightens the makeshift bandage on his arm, her torn sleeve, now soaked red with his blood. The graze from the bullet isn't deep, but it's ugly, and every wince he makes twists her stomach. "Hold still," she mutters, tying it off. Her voice is steady, but inside, she's a mess, scared, mad, and holding onto him like he's all she's got left. Jay grabs her wrist, gentle but firm, his green eyes locking on hers in the faint moonlight. "I'm okay, Namie," he says, voice rough but warm. "We're okay." He's pale, sweat beading on his forehead. But that look, it's fierce, like he's fighting for her, not just himself. She wants to believe him, but Lila's voice echoes in her head, promising help right before those goons crashed in. Her best friend sold them out for cash. Trust feels like a broken toy now. "We can't keep doing this," Namie says, sitting back on her heels. Her jeans are soaked, her hands smeared with dirt and blood. "Running, hiding, it's not enough. We need to end it." Her voice shakes, but there's steel in it. She's not the same girl who tripped on the sidewalk a few weeks ago. Jay's changed her. His secrets, his heart, his fight. She's in this, all the way. He nods, slow, like he's been waiting for her to say it. "You're right. We hit back hard." He shifts, wincing as he leans against a tree. "There's a drive, Namie. I hid it before I went underground. It's got everything: emails, contracts, proof my ex-partner Victor set me up and tried to kill me. We get that. Leak it to the right people. And he's done." Her heart skips. "Where's the drive?" she asks, already on her feet, brushing mud off her hands. He hesitates, eyes flicking to the shadows like he's checking for ghosts. "Downtown," he says. "Bus station, locker 47, keys in my coat." He pats his pocket, then stops, frowning. "Wait, where's my coat?" Namie's stomach drops. "You left it in the motel, when we ran." She remembers him shrugging it off, blood dripping, as they scrambled out the window. The goons probably have it now, or it's still there, waiting like a trap. Jay curses under his breath, running a hand through his messy hair. "Okay," he says, thinking fast. "We go back. Quiet. In and out." "Are you nuts?" she hisses, grabbing his good arm. "They're probably still there." "You're hurt, Jay. We can't just waltz in." But he's already standing, shaky but stubborn. And that grin, the one that makes her heart do stupid, creeps onto his face. "Not waltzing," he says, "sneaking. Come on, Namie, we do this together." He holds out his hand, and she stares at it, torn. Every smart part of her screams to run the other way, find a cop, anything but this. But then she looks at him bloody, beat up, and still fighting for them, and she grabs his hand. His fingers close around hers, warm and sure, and it's like a spark lighting her up. They move slow, sticking to the shadows as they loop back toward the motel. The rain stopped, leaving the air heavy and cold. Namie's sneakers squish in the mud, and Jay's breathing hard, his good hand gripping hers like a lifeline. The motel's neon sign buzzes in the distance, half the letters dark. They crouch behind a dumpster, peering at the parking lot. It's quiet, too quiet. No black car, no goons, just their room's busted doors swinging in the breeze. "Looks clear," Jay whispers, but his voice is tight. "Coat's probably inside. I'll go. You stay here." Namie shakes her head, squeezing his hand. "No way. We're a team, remember?" He looks at her, something soft and fierce in his eyes, and nods. They creep forward, hearts pounding, and slip into the room. It's a mess glass on the floor, bed torn apart, bullet holes in the wall. Namie's stomach twists, but she spots the coat, crumpled by the bathroom door. She darts for it, digging in the pockets, nothing. "Jay, it's not here," she whispers, panic rising. He's checking the dresser, wincing as he moves, when they hear it tires crunching outside. "Down," Jay hisses, pulling her behind the bed. Headlights sweep through the window, and boots hit the pavement. 2 guys, maybe 3, voices low and sharp. "Check inside." One grunts. Boss says Carver's close. Namie's heart's in her throat, her hand clutching Jay's. He presses a finger to his lips, then points to the bathroom window their escape last time. They crawl, quiet as mice, glass biting Namie's palms. Jay boosts her up, his good arm straining, and she scrambles through, landing hard in the dirt outside. He's right behind her, grunting as he hits the ground. They don't stop sprinting back to the woods, voices shouting behind them. "They're here!" A goon yells, and a shot cracks the air, missing wide. They dive behind a fallen log, panting, and Jay pulls her close, his arm around her shoulders. "We're okay," he whispers, but she can feel him shaking. "We'll find another way." She nods, tears stinging her eyes, not from fear, but from the weight of it all. Lila's betrayal, Jay's blood. This fight they might not win. But then he tilts her chin up, kissing her soft, urgent, like it's all he's got to give. "I love you," he says against her lips, and her heart steadies. "Love you too," she whispers back, and it's fuel. They hunker down, waiting till the goons' lights fade, then slip deeper into the city. Jay's got a backup plan, always does. She's learning. "There's a guy," he says, voice low as they weave through back streets. "Old friend owes me. He's got a copy of the key, kept it safe. Naomi's skeptical after Lila. Trusts hard, but Jay's eyes are steady, and she nods. They reach a dive bar by dawn, neon flickering over a cracked door. Jay's friend, a wiry guy named Pete with a nervous tic, meets them in the back. "Heard you were dead, Carver," Pete mutters, sliding a key across the table. "Don't make me regret this." Jay grabs it, promising to pay him back, and they're out, heading for the bus station. The locker's there 47, just like he said. Naomi holds her breath as Jay opens it, pulling out a small USB drive. "This is it," he says, voice heavy with relief. "Everything we need." They find a library nearby, computers old but working, and Naomi takes over. She's no hacker, but she knows enough. She uploads the files, Victor's dirty deals, threats, proof he framed Jado, every news outlet she can think of, plus a few sketchy forums for good measure. "Go viral," she mutters, hitting send. They're not safe yet. Jay's cash, stashed from his old life, buys them a ride to a safe house, a sleek condo in a part of town Naomi's never seen. It's all glass and leather, so different from her tiny place. And it hits her Jay's not just a beggar. He's this, a guard, hired with more of Jay's money, stands watch outside. They collapse on a couch, exhausted, and Naomi curls into him, his good arm around her. "We did it," she says, voice soft. He kisses her forehead, slow and warm. "You did it," he corrects. And there's pride in his eyes. Love, too, so strong it makes her chest ache. They kiss again, deeper, the world fading until it's just them. But outside, the net's still tightening. Victor's not caught yet, and he's desperate. The safe house is quiet in the early morning, sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows that look out over the city. Naomi's sprawled on a plush leather couch, her head resting on Jay's chest, his good arm wrapped around her, his other arm still bandaged from that graze. But he's alive, they're alive, and that's what matters. She's in yesterday's jeans and a borrowed t-shirt, her dark hair a mess. But she's never felt safer. The guard outside paces the hall, and for the first time in days, no one's chasing them. Jay's phone buzzes on the coffee table, his old life creeping back now that he's not hiding. He grabs it, squinting at the screen, and a slow grin spreads across his face. "It's over," he says, voice rough with relief. Victor's done. Naomi sits up, heart thumping. "For real?" He nods, turning the phone so she can see news alerts popping off. "Tech mogul Victor Lang arrested, James Carver alive, exposes fraud." The leaked files worked, reporters are swarming, cops have Victor in cuffs, and Jay's name's cleared. She lets out a shaky laugh, tears stinging her eyes. "We did it," she says, grabbing his hand. He pulls her close, kissing her forehead, then her nose, then her lips, soft, warm, like a promise kept. "You did it," he says, voice low. "Couldn't have fought back without you, Naomi." Her cheeks heat up, and she buries her face in his shoulder, overwhelmed. They sit there, tangled up, letting the wind sink in. But Jay's not done. He shifts, easing her off him, and stands up, wincing a little from his arm, but steady. "Stay here," he says, a glint in those green eyes that makes her stomach flip. "Got something to do." She frowns, confused, as he disappears down the hall. The safe house is huge marble floors, art on the walls, a kitchen bigger than her whole apartment, and she's still wrapping her head around it being his. James Carver, not just Jay the beggar. What's he up to? She's fiddling with her hair, nerves buzzing. When the lights dim, Music starts soft, slow. Some jazzy tune she doesn't know but feels fancy, and Jay's back, looking different. He's ditched the torn clothes for a crisp white shirt and dark pants, hair combed back, that scruffy beard trimmed. He's holding something behind his back, and his grin's nervous but bright. "Namie," he says, stepping closer. "I've been planning this. Well, dreaming it anyway." Her heart skips. "Planning what?" she asks, voice small. He drops to one knee right there on the fancy rug, and her breath catches. "Oh, man. Oh, man." He pulls out a box, velvet and small, and flips it open. Inside's a ring, diamonds, sparkling like stars, big enough to make her eyes pop, but simple, elegant. Her. "Namie," he says, voice shaking just a little. "You saved me. Not just from Victor, from everything. I was lost, hiding, till you tripped into my life and gave me a reason to fight. I love you more than I've got words for. Will you marry me?" She's frozen, mouth open, tears blurring her vision. The room's spinning, but Jay's steady, those green eyes locked on hers, waiting. She wants to say something smart, funny, but all that comes out is a choked Jay. He doesn't push, just kneels there, patient, like he'd wait forever. And then the lights flicker, and she looks up hundreds of tiny fairy lights strung across the ceiling, glowing, like magic. When did he even do that? "Hold on," he says, standing quick. And before she can blink, he's pulling her to the balcony. Outside, the city's alive, cars honking, lights twinkling, and there's a banner hanging off the railing, big, bold letters, "Namie, be mine?" She gasps, laughing through tears, and turns to him. "You're insane," she says, but it's soft, odd. He grins, pulling her close, and points down below. A crowd's gathering, strangers cheering, some guy with a megaphone shouting, "Say yes!" "I went big," Jay whispers in her ear, arms around her waist. "Wanted you to know I'm all in." Her heart's pounding, and she's dizzy, love, shock, all of it crashing in. But he's not done. He steps back, pulling papers from his pocket, fancy ones, with seals and signatures. "This too," he says, handing them over. She squints, reading deeds, titles, bank stuff. "What's this?" "Assets," he says, casual, like it's no big deal. "A house too, actually. One here, one by the coast. Car, a nice one, not that junker you've got. And a chunk of my old fortune, set up for you. It's yours, Namie, whether you say yes or not. You deserve it. After everything." Her jaw drops. Houses? A car? Money? She's a coffee shop girl, this is millionaire stuff, and he's just giving it to her? "Jay, I can't..." She starts, but he cuts her off, taking her hands. "You can. You're not just some girl I met. You're my everything. I want you with me always. So, what do you say?" He's back on one knee now, ring out again, and the crowd below's chanting, "Yes, yes," like it's a movie. Her head spinning, but her heart, it's screaming one thing. "Yes," she says, voice breaking into a laugh. "Yes, Jay, I'll marry you." He's up in a flash, sliding the ring on her finger. It fits perfect. And then he's kissing her, hard and happy, lifting her off her feet. The crowd roars, fireworks popping somewhere in the distance. Did he plan that too? And she's laughing, crying, clinging to him. "You're crazy," she mumbles against his lips, and he grins. "Crazy for you." They stumble back inside, the music swelling, and he pulls her into a slow dance right there in the safe house, fairy lights glowing overhead. She's got a ring, houses, a future, and him. "You didn't have to do all this," she says, head on his chest. He chuckles, warm and low. "Yeah, I did. You're worth it, Namie." The news keeps buzzing. Victor's locked up. Jay's back in the spotlight, but it's background noise now. They're together, unbreakable, and she's not just the poor girl anymore. She's his, he's hers, and the world's watching, stunned. Friends, that's the end. Namie said yes, and it's a love story for the ages. Thanks for sticking with us. See you in the next story. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this story. Subscribe and share for more wild stories.